Alright, so where we left
Challenge
off.
accepted.
Well, let's look at the there's a couple changes.
Half work.
Character there raising his hand
Hello.
has switched off from barbarian to cleric. We're fine with that. Everything his barbarian's been through, his cleric's been through.
He probably still has the highest strength.
He also went from half orc to Triton.
Yeah, also no longer an orc, now a Triton.
I hate to be that person, but
The monk who is in that empty chair, and I say he's in the empty chair because he's not actually here, he is not able to make it to the day. He's finished up his second of 3 12-hour shifts, and the next one's either starting tonight or tomorrow.
tonight. Yeah.
Tonight, so starting tonight, opted to sit it out. I don't blame him.
Thankfully, my 12-hour shifts are tomorrow.
So, with that, let's see if I've got character names here.
You will be the most hated character.
Yeah, just for having.
Oh, what was the Triton's name?
Severos.
Yes, I see it.
Yes. Severos.
Let me update that so I don't call him Rexar.
Are you still obsessed with owlbears?
No.
Oh.
Seahorses.
Okay. Seahorses.
Sea bears.
Sea bears.
They're all circled.
How would we come up with that
All
at
right.
the exact same time?
Oh yeah, sea bears.
So, going around the table, just making sure we've got Fish, Galan, Sprout, Severos, and Devin. Alright. Fish, you were in the back. You guys are engaged with, there's 2 Vegapygmies remaining, a chief and one of the Grootlings. Fish, you were in the back shooting arrows. Sprout, you were in the back watching. Devin, you are engaged with both the Sprout Chieftain and the Grootling. Gorgia, the one we're missing, is on the ground unconscious. Severos, you will be arriving and acting first in the initiative order.
Cool.
And Galan is on the ground, stabilized but unconscious.
And the chat is now sad because I'm not dead.
I have the initiative order, so we will pick it right back up. We stopped at the end. So, Severos, you had been playing rear guard for the company, ensuring everyone was fine, but there were some sounds of combat, some scuffles to be heard, and the elf Etha, who was leading your company, well, accompanying your company is probably the better term, bid you to go ahead, go up, see what is going on, and assist your companions.
Alright.
Alright. and as
you-
we get- okay.
Come around to Ben, 30 feet in front of you. You see your druid and your tabaxi. Your Furbolg and your tabaxi. 30 feet in front of them, you see his body next to a flaming hedge. You can only see like the lower half. He's on the ground unmoving. And you can see your human bard engaged with 2 little Grootlings that stand, one about 2 feet, the other maybe 2.5 feet tall.
So about 60 feet away from me. Correct.
Those are 60 feet away from you, yes.
Okay.
And you see Rexar jump off a cliff because he's gone now.
No, that it's still my character.
Yep.
Like it would still be.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
done a pure swap. Everything you guys have done with Rexar, you did with his character.
Mhm.
I allow that the first couple levels, so you guys, as you guys are getting the party felt out.
Okay, so I have a chance to change out from an elf to a likable character.
Yes. All right, so go.
Moving 30 feet closer to
Okay.
the one that I feel is in the most danger on the ground, which is going to be the one next to a burning hedge.
Yep. So you come alongside your Tabaxi Rogue, or sorry, your
Ranger.
Ranger. There we go. Tabaxi Ranger and Furbolg Druid.
Okay.
Sprout
Kind of
and
look
fish.
at him. Go ahead.
He's still another 30 feet away. Isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's closed 30 feet, but you
Yes.
can't see him. He's 30 feet.
Light crossbow bolt to one of the chieftain pygmy, the bigger one.
Bigger one. All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
Watch this.
First roll of the night is going to be a 19.
All right, that hits.
Cool.
You should borrow his dice.
No, don't touch my dice. Alright, and that's going to be 6 points of damage.
All right,
That's going to be my turn.
Fish, you are up.
Alright, I'm also take a shot at the chieftain.
All right.
That is a 15 to hit.
Yes.
And that is 5 damage.
I was about to say, the pigment's got some
All right.
AC.
Well, that's the chieftain. The one who's going to have AC is going to be him.
That's fair.
All right. That was Fish. Galan, I want you to go ahead and get me a percentile roll. You want higher than 25.
Higher than 25.
Yes.
So an 11. Got it. 44.
All right. The hedge doesn't light you on fire yet.
Oh my god.
Thought about that. I was like, trying to sort of lit us on fire.
I am in order
well.
too.
Devin, you are up.
I am going to attack the small one that's engaged with me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
It is a 11. So
I just noticed that he's wearing a Monty Python shirt, and last week we were talking about.
Yeah,
the
no,
rabbits
11's
Monty
not gonna hit.
Python.
Nice.
and then I'll use a bonus action to inspire Tabaxi.
All right.
That's my last inspiration.
All right. The two Vegapygmies are gonna, with barks from the chieftain, they're gonna go ahead and set up flanking on you.
Yep.
The little Grootling has a. Gotta remind myself these pluses. A 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
4 points of damage,
Okay.
and then the chieftain hits as well.
I'm gonna be down.
Okay, here comes the party wave.
2 points of damage.
Okay. I'm down.
Okay. All right. So you now see that the one little Grootling kind of knocks him at the knees. The chief just kind of knocks up, wielding what would be an oversized twig as a spear. Just kind of knocks him on the head and, almost with the practiced grace of a hunter, knocks him unconscious. Severos, you are up.
You have 1 hit point left.
30 feet. Bonus action, spare the dying.
Okay.
Moving 30 feet to him. Cure wounds.
Well, you're up with both of them if you've moved 30 feet.
No, I was saying, spare the dying is 30 feet bonus
Oh,
action.
gotcha. Yeah, so your bonus action.
Great cleric.
All right.
So spare the dying on him.
Yep.
And then 30 feet to him and cure wounds.
Okay.
Which
I
is
appreciate
a
it.
That just puts me at 0.
Roll up the healing.
It stabilizes you.
Yep. Means no more death saving
D8.
throws.
Plus,
D8.
it's
Cure
D8
wounds.
plus your
Greetings,
wisdom
little
spell
bit.
modifier.
Presidente.
So 3.
I left the suit at home.
1.
How much was the healing?
3.
Okay.
Still got him up though.
It got him up to
no,
3.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
Grave cleric
Oh yeah.
gives me the ability of this. Can't talk today.
To do it in
If you are at 0 and I revive him, I do max healing
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
per what die it is. So it is 10 points of healing.
Well, there you go.
I'm back to max, which is 10.
All right. So,
Clutch save again.
yes.
You just change your character
Fish, you're
to
up.
be exactly what's needed to
Alright.
say today every session.
Don't get your burning inspiration.
Yeah, got it. Hit the chieftain again.
Okay.
Your last words for inspiration.
Let's see, that is a definite hit. 'Cause that's 17 plus 6
Oh, yeah.
on the inspiration plus 5 for my proficiency. So
Go ahead and roll up damage.
That spirit dying, what it does is it
That
just stops you
is
from
5
having
damage.
death save.
All right.
it was practically guaranteed 5 damage.
Unless they start just beating on you.
Sprout.
more than likely
Yep.
you're about to do.
How far is Gojira from 30? Or
30. He's stabilized on the ground.
He's stabilized?
Yes.
Okay. What was he stabilized from?
As he's not here this session, I've gone ahead and just stabilized him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go up and just drag him back.
Okay. Alright.
Get him out of the fight.
Save him from friendly fire.
Yep. That's a good call.
I didn't do a bonus action.
So that'll
last
be
round.
my full turn is
What?
going up and then dragging him
I was
back.
going to say, I didn't do a bonus action last round. I could do spare the dying on him as a thing, just to say how he got stabilized.
You did use a bonus action?
Did I?
You used spare the dying on the bard.
No,
and
no,
then...
not that one. The first round.
Oh. We're not
That's
going
what I
back
meant.
that far, but yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yep. Galan?
Well, I'm obviously
You are
going
prone.
to get up.
Alright, you get up. Little body of a Grootling kind of falling off your leg limp.
Oh no, my friend. Where are the other pygmies as soon as I get up?
There is one directly adjacent to you, as he would have finished off. Well, the bard engaged him as he finished off you.
Alright, are there any that are currently engaged with anyone who's not unconscious?
There is the one engaged with you, and there is the one who was engaged, the chief who was engaged with the bard.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Alright.
Because when I was reading the player's handbook the other day, it said that if there's an enemy of the person I'm targeting within 5 feet of them, I will still get sneak attack damage.
If they're conscious.
If they're conscious.
Yeah, I was
okay.
gonna say,
He is
he's
not
not
now.
conscious.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
But I am right beside of him. Because I just did cure wounds.
You touched him, you did not go over to the chief who
Okay.
was on the other side
Okay,
because
that's fine.
flanking. Yep.
Alright,
So, carry on.
so there's still the one right next to me that
Yep.
knocked me out. Alright, I'm going to swing at him with my rapier then. Which will be 7.
7 to hit? No. The whole fencing and rapier fighting really was never designed for things that are 2 feet tall. So you're kind of using a really awkward style, just more stabs in the general direction.
If I use my face step to get out of reach, will that proc opportunity attack?
No. It
Right.
functions just as Misty Step.
Alright, I will do that then to...
Where are you stepping?
There's no one engaged with her, right?
Correct.
I will, is she within 30 feet?
She's roughly at 30 feet, yes.
Alright, I'll teleport to right next to her,
Alright.
and then use my interaction to put my rapier away and draw my short bow.
Okay. Devin, you're stabilized.
Yep, and unconscious.
Good job. You did a thing. The chief is going to go up and the 2 Vegapygmies, in lieu of any other targets, are going to engage your Grave Cleric, as he's the one on the front line.
Oh, yeah.
Again, they kind of immediately, the chief gives his little group pointing. You see him almost using the spear, as you would expect him to air trace out like a football play or something, where he kind of points and then traces around you for the other one to go, and it just kind of looks at him and just kind of follows where it's supposed to be and looks very happy once it gets there. Like, I did a thing. And proceeds to have a 20 to hit you.
Yeah, it's going to hit.
4 damage.
Alright.
And the chief hits as well for 5 damage.
Alright. I'm barely standing.
Welcome to Vegapygmy Land. Alright, so you're up.
I am going to scream in agony, as that hurt a lot. And I'm going to attack the chieftain with my spear.
Alright, roll to hit.
So that's going to be a 20.
Hits.
Not natural.
Did you mean shovel?
No. I did not mean my show. 5 points of damage.
Alright.
Yeah, I got nothing else. That's my turn.
Alrighty. Fish.
I'm taking another shot at the chieftain.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
That is 14 to hit.
Rolling 14 to hit the chieftain, you said?
Yes.
That does hit.
Okay. That is 6 damage.
Okay.
Little sucker's got some hit points.
This is like teenage Groot. The little Grootlings, and this is, well, not really teenage. It's Groot at the end of the movie when he's actually running around with his little cute suit on.
Yeah.
I'll
just punt this thing. Just
go on, you're up.
Alright. I will take a shot at the chieftain with my short bow. That is a 15 to hit.
Alright, hits.
That is 9 damage.
Alright. The chieftain is no longer standing. The arrow, being broad-tipped in nature, goes about an inch wide, easily landing a good solid hit, and rather than just kind of sticking or glancing off, just rips the upper shoulder section of the Vegapygmy loose. Sap oozing. It's like a little white sap, like when you break a dandelion and it's got like that little white bit sitting on the top there, yeah.
Alright. I'll move 5 feet closer.
Alright. Where are we? Devin.
Still unconscious?
Enjoying it.
you're not getting beat.
The little Grootling seems enraged that there is an arm missing from Master Grootling, and he realizes that if he slays you all, he's probably in charge of the tribe that's just him now. So, with that, he rolls a 2 to attack.
Face palm. Alright. I'm still standing.
Alright, you're up.
Alright. How far away is Devin from me?
Devin?
Yes.
Should be like 5
Yeah,
feet.
like at your feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna use
anywhere.
my turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my action to cure wounds on him.
Alright. Heals for 10.
Yep.
Well, 9. It's 9's a max.
Feel great. Better than you normally would.
Fish, you're up.
It's like a shot of adrenaline.
Shot at remaining pygmy.
Alright.
Did you get that?
That's a 18 on the die.
Hits.
6
Okay.
damage.
I'm just
The poor little
I'm still
Grootling
dragging.
has taken some hits.
Go
And the
back.
poor little Grootling is just knocked back, ragdolling with your arrow.
I almost feel sad.
Almost.
So,
I wish I could have studied it more.
we're out of
It's kind of
initiative
becoming
order.
a thorn in your side.
Oh, that hurt.
Like Grom getting up. We win.
I'm right there next to him. I put a hand on the chest, cure wounds, and then smack him on the cheeks a couple of times. Come on, get up. Just get off.
Me or is Gojira?
Just you.
Both.
I'm already up. Come on. Why?
Roll 1d4 for damage.
Why is there a fish here?
Nope.
Why is he smacking me awake? I'm already awake.
Yep. The hedge is continuing to burn with a nice roaring fire. There's a fair bit of stuff that was actually put into it. It's not a natural hedge, so it's burning almost as if it were a log or other stoked intentional fire.
I'll just put that out.
Using
Maybe you could actually put
Okay.
this one out.
I'm gonna help by
just
tossing some dirt.
how
or
much
something
fire
on it.
does Druidcraft put out?
It doesn't specify. It just says, like a campfire. You can just light.
Yeah,
it,
this
open
is
it up.
10 feet long, about 4
I'll
feet
do it a few
wide.
times.
Man, a shovel to.
Yeah, you're
throw
not
some
gonna
dirt on
put
this
it out
would
with
be
a
real
with
nice
Druidcraft.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but knowing you'd accidentally crit fail and throw your shovel into the fire, feeding it further.
But if you're all working on the fire, using Druidcraft, using some dirt that you're tossing on it from nearby,
Mold
you're gonna
earth
get
and
it.
just-
You're gonna get it put out. So the fire
If
is out.
anybody's got some healing right now, would be great. Just
Oh,
step
Wait, I thought that
by.
was your job.
I did my job well, thank you.
I'll help.
All right.
Out there.
I'm like shuffling over with just a couple stab wounds.
4 hit points.
I'm okay with that.
Little Grootlings are vicious.
It's like a
What
big
you're
black
seeing
bolts.
in front of you now that you've begun to survey inside of the gate is the walls are actually relatively intact and untouched. The plant life that appears to just kind of be
I don't know if
scattered
any
out, more
of
not
these-
sculpted plant life so much as weeds and young trees, appears to only go about 3-4
Those
feet
ones
high.
taken out for
It
your
appears
sister or
that the
whatever.
Vegapygmies had been farming or harvesting the greenery in the area, preventing it from getting overgrown. The entire area is also very well sized. You would expect it to almost encompass a square mile,
Oh man.
as the entire peak of this mountain appears to have been removed either magically or otherwise. And the only real surviving structural feature is the central room, which takes up about a quarter mile in diameter round at its base. The one above it being about half that in diameter.
About how tall does that go?
It's going to have a good 12 feet up to the second level.
And does the pillars go beyond that, past the second layer?
No, the pillars
Okay.
and so
Okay, I can
it
remember.
has a general telescopic shape of a round, then a round, and there's 3 pillars that are stuck at angles, such that they are holding it up.
Are
Those pillars appear to, at one point in time, held boxes that, well, go ahead and give me perception checks. We'll see who's the first person to figure this out.
Oh, no, that is a.
Just looking for highest.
10.
21.
23.
6.
Alright, so we're going to
23 ones.
23 is going to be it. So, it looks almost like it used to contain the coffin-like structure that the dwarf was mounted in.
And where is this?
This is on the legs of the rune.
Oh.
Pillars holding up the second level.
Okay, gotcha.
There's 3 gaps, and you're all able kind of to get this every time because it's a relatively distinct shape that you've only seen in one spot, and that's where the dwarves are, or what the dwarf was in.
Can I check to see if any of the Vegapygmies are unconscious or are they all dead?
They're all dead.
Okay.
Does the druid want to like look at what they are, like the Vegapygmies, like check
I
out
would-
like their internal structures, like is there a way to like grow them or something?
Like Cybermen.
So the other plant life
Yep.
that's around that it seems like they were harvesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Is there anything that would be edible or useful for us?
The Vegapygmy corpses.
Not really. The wood that they'd be using was stuff that you could tell with the half of the surviving hedge would have been put into the hedge for reinforcement. Some of it looks like it was in their weapons, so possibly being used there.
Okay.
Then aside from that, it looks like what they would take and do is they'd take the vegetation, put it into a giant compost heap, and after it had suitably rotted, they would eat said rot. In some way, shape, or form, as you don't really see mouths.
Okay.
Aside from that, you could see a couple pile of bushes that may have been homes, but it appears like the entire tribe was just the 5 of them and their Fido.
Any kind of water source?
There appears to be an old well that is functioning. You're able, as you're digging through, one of the houses appears to have been built on top of it. And while there's no bucket and rope attached to it, just kind of, you think you see the faint glimmer of water down there just looking. Given as it's relatively bright out right now.
How would I think that they were retrieving the water?
You don't see any clear evidence of how they would be doing that.
Mold earth it up.
Do we see anywhere here that they said there was a mine here? Like, Can we see an entrance or something like that?
You don't see an entrance from inside the walls now.
Okay. Alright. I guess head back and tell them it's clear. How's the party?
I mean, have we searched this whole area within the walls?
You have, yes.
It's a big area.
It's a big area, but the
No
Vegapygmies didn't really let it get overgrown.
The only structure is the actual rune itself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What's notable is any stone architecture that would have been here, there is no trace of the stones.
And this whole area is just flat.
There's a little bit of terrain feature. It's the top of a mountain, but yes, it looks like
you can just look around and pretty much see the whole thing.
yes.
Okay. I do want to go over to the Vegapygmy dog.
All right, you approach it, and it appears to have some nice thorns on it, good inch and a half briars that appear to be interspersed with its body, and then around its jawline that have all been kind of folded in to give it the appearance of a dog with teeth.
Make yourself a crown of thorns out of it.
I would like to see if I can just gently break off one of the thorns.
You'd be able to, yes.
Okay. Stick that in my little pouch.
All right. You have a Vegapygmy thorn.
Sevros is going to go ahead and start heading back to the caravan to inform them
Okay.
that the area is secure, to go ahead and start moving the populace in.
All right. You guys get down. They had kind of moved up halfway up the trail, but with the idea of fighting, they had kind of held in position. Upon your arrival, the elf Etha is at the fore. Upon seeing you, you see her look at least somewhat relieved, as the fact that she sent you out was like, I'm not sure how this is going.
It's all right. I took care of things and saved them.
You saved the disposable ones.
She kind of nods her head, and you can almost in that instant see like a faint blue shimmer kind of just dissipate between you and her, as if she had raised some sort of magical ward over where you guys were. Immediately, she sends various of the people who are with her to run down back through the people and just, hey, we're going in. Make sure you've got your stuff. We're moving again. So you guys have all pack up. Everyone gets moved in. I'll take perceptions from all as you're doing this.
23.
That was almost a 20.
20s plus. You see a trail as you guys are moving up. Like, you thought you saw it on the way up, but you were like, let's worry about what's trying to murder us. But as you started moving back and forth and getting stuff moved in, as you guys actually do have a small baggage train with you, you see that there's like a trail that heads off kind of at an angle down the side of the mountain. A little bit larger than small game trail, but not as large as like a deer.
I got a 23.
Oh, you have 23? Then yes, you saw that as well.
Yeah. I'd like to kind of mosey on down that and see where
Alright.
it goes.
The two of you kind of wander off. The rest of you don't notice the departure as you're in the middle of moving things. And didn't see this, and them taking it would not have stuck out. As you guys kind of wander down, you see that it leads to the opening of a cave that appears to have stonework set into it. Haphazardly like.
This could be where the mine is.
Possibly.
And what I mean by haphazard stonework is that the stonework doesn't look original, and it doesn't look professional.
How big is the opening?
The opening is medium-sized and vertical set so that it would be for like a humanoid creature.
Can I peek my head in there to see what I can see?
Yeah, you kind of stick your head into your dark vision.
Yes.
You peer back about 60 feet, peering against the hard darkness that is the cave. And kind of looking in, you almost see... Well, I'm trying to figure out the best way of describing this to you. You see various equipment that you would expect in a mine, but not in how you would expect it.
Is there a shovel?
You wouldn't see a shovel, but you would see it, a wheelbarrow flipped upside down. And by wheelbarrow, we're not talking like fine wheels, we're talking more like a sled that you would drag something in, but flipped upside down and stones set across it. And then you would see just like some stone slabs kind of set up surrounding it, almost like a makeshift table.
Is there any tools by the wheelbarrow?
No.
Alright. Do you have dark vision? Alright, well, I'm gonna... Looks like they set up a small makeshift table with a wheelbarrow in there. You wanna
you
head
wanna
in
go in
now,
now?
or should we grab other people just in case there's another vegetarian tribe? That would probably kill the two of us. Considering what the last one did.
Yeah, maybe we should let everybody else get within the walls and then get the rest of the group. And
Alright.
head back.
Where's your cleric cards?
These are.
Oh, do you mind if I use them?
Yeah, you could use them.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Well, I'm gonna head back and go to... What's her name? I have it written down somewhere.
Etha?
Yes, Etha.
Okay.
And tell her that I found where I think the mine was in here. And I'm going to point out the path to the cave.
Okay. And Sprout?
I'm gonna go back wherever the rest of
Oh, wait, the
guys
rest
are,
of the party?
and let them
Gotcha.
know. Same thing.
So, yep, you guys are all aware of where it is. Etha confirms your suspicions. Yes, that matches where Arkoth said the mine would be.
Alright. That's good.
Arkarth is the dwarf in the.
Arkoth
It's
is
the
the
Did
dwarf
they
in
eat
the
the stones there?
He's a human.
Vegapygmies doing stonework would be abnormal. They have seen no evidence of it in the tribes near them.
Alright, but she
There's
doesn't.
two similar names.
Like since she was with the group that came here before, they didn't do it.
No.
Okay. So.
The stone, well, the stones you described sound like they were stones that would have been in the city at one point in time. They're construction type stones, building stones. Versus paving stones versus wall stones versus fill stones.
How far away is it from the settlement to where we encountered the forest and farm kind of area?
Not far. You guys would have crossed the, by and large, fields. It would have been, I mean, there's a river down at the base of the mountain. Yeah, if you go down your mountain, you head out into the farmland.
Okay, I just want to know like how far away we have to travel to start getting lumber to make like houses and stuff.
Yeah. There's various trees in the mountain range this mountain is a part of. They would be readily available
Okay.
as these mountains are forested.
All right.
They're not the coastal ones exposed to salt winds.
Okay. Do you want to do the mine thing now, or do you want to like help them start getting their houses completed until we get like a full rest?
I wouldn't want to stay here for a week without knowing what's under us.
Yeah, I think it'd be better just in
Alright,
case
we're
there's
going in with
something
whatever
down
spell
there.
slots we have, or
Yeah, I used a lot in that last fight.
and I think I got
Really?
just my cantrip.
I used all of my spells in that last fight.
I got my cantrip, thankfully, like my thunderclap. Alright, we can do that though. Just see, it might not be hostile.
May not be anything there.
Alright, I guess we'll follow. I'll decide to follow whichever one of these two is heading down to the mine because you're the only one that's been there. Yeah.
I guess we'd both lead them there.
Party all headed to the mine then? All right.
Except the monkeys help.
I would discuss with the party during the short amount of time that it is to get there that I do think we need to investigate it, but not to the point to where if we even remotely think that we're going to get stuck down there, leave, post somebody there, and then let's focus on getting this camp up.
Agreed.
Alright,
Have
so
a defensible position. Then
while we're
no
going
position
in, you
at
want us to all be like in a line like 5 feet apart, just in case? So that if we're all in one group right next to each other and
Well,
it
after
collapses,
about 10 feet,
we
I'm going
won't
to be
all be
blind as
there.
a bat.
Well, for 5 feet, we might as well be packed.
That's what torches are for.
There is that. I can light a torch.
I'll just go in first with the torch and let you guys know.
Alright,
We have 3 spellcasters, and not one of you has light the cantrip.
I did not bring light the cantrip.
No.
Okay.
I don't get access to like the cantrip.
Okay.
I got prestidigitation and an attack that can constantly spin off. Because I'm a bard and I need the prestidigitation.
Yeah, you need to clean up after your nighttime duties.
There's this myth that I'm like some kind of sex deviant or something like that. I don't know where
I mean,
we
you
came
were on a
across
boat
it.
with a bunch of people for a long amount of time. That rumors get spread
It's true.
easily.
It's true.
Before the session, you were talking about that.
No,
You're seducing
No,
people
yeah,
on the
seduct-
boat, right?
because-
No, no,
Tell me
no.
to seduce a
I'll
dragon.
set the record straight here. Before the stream started, you were talking about seducing a sentient shovel.
That's true.
That's it.
Okay. So I'm not sure where this rumor got started, but it was likely there. It was likely there.
Alright, I can see that. Yeah,
We'll get that sentient shovel one day.
All right.
If
So-
the DM
so we're
allows
heading
it.
into this. Do we want to send first
What's
to
the
start
marching
position
order?
or not?
I need in pairs of 2. Which 2 are up front? Which 2 are in the middle? Who's in the back?
I'll be up front
I'll be up
since I
I'd
have
like to be paired
good
with somebody
perception
with dark
and I have dark vision.
All right. We've got those 2 up front. Who's in the middle?
I'll be in the middle.
All right. The other 2 when you want to be in the back.
Sure.
There's room in the middle for 1 more.
There's only 5 of us.
Yeah. There's 2 in each spot, so you can be in the middle if you want.
Nah, I'll be in the back. Just
Alright.
rear guard.
Hourglass formation deploy. As you guys approach it, front 2, I want perceptions.
9.
17.
17, you would notice that there's no dust as you're starting to kind of move in here. This place appears used relatively recently and kept clean. That is different from the Vegapigmy area, where dirt was food.
So Vegapigmy new prestidigitation.
You also see with 15s plus, things look moved from when you were here probably about a half hour ago. Not drastically moved, but almost like someone had just like, let's slide this here, grab a thing, and leave.
Okay. Are there any noticeable tracks or anything in here?
Hard stone floor, no dust, not gonna leave anything.
Okay. The table, the what seemed to be kind of like a rough table and chairs
Yeah.
set up. Is there any way to get a sense of what size? Like, was this made for something really
It's
small
made for
or
medium.
just medium?
Medium humanoid based on the chair table setup.
Okay. And is that the only thing that was in here?
It's a mine. It continues down.
Okay.
That is all that is in this entrance passage room. It opens up to about 30, 40 feet wide, as this is where mining operations would be staged and stuff would be brought up.
Is there any spot where there was any kind of fire?
You're not... Well, give me a perception as you're searching the room.
23.
23. You are able to find little bits of charcoal as if it had been cleaned, and the little bits you're seeing are the same size as the various gravel that would be underfoot. But with your keen druidic eye, you're able to quickly identify it as a burned substance versus the standard gravel. So there has been fire here. within the last 2 days.
I'll relay that information to the party.
Alright.
So whatever it is, it might not have dark vision.
Or just likes to cook their food.
Could be those raiders we were told about or like
You guys
what,
are
a month ago.
months away from Raiderland.
Yeah, from Raiderland. It doesn't mean they can't be over here.
They would have crossed half the continent to get here, but yes. Technically, they could be here.
It's a possibility.
How far are you guys planning on going down?
That is a good question. How far do we want to go down?
Obviously, there's something here.
What time of day is it roughly?
2 p.m.
Go till 4 or 5.
I mean, if
2
it
hours
just
time?
keeps going and there's nothing of interest,
Yeah.
after a couple hours, if it goes that far, maybe start headed back. Get back by sunset.
Whatever is in here, the Vegapygmies clearly did not have a problem with them.
Well, hold on.
They may not
you-
lit them on fire.
Did Sprout relay that things seem to be moved?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it took y'all, what, 30 minutes to get back to the encampment?
About half an hour from when they left to when you guys were back at the
So
cave.
15-minute walk.
Each one.
Including fetching people, telling
I
people
gotcha.
what happened.
So, we're looking at somebody who moved stuff within the last 30 minutes. They ain't far.
Well, if they went out and
Well,
went somewhere
well,
else, we don't know which direction that they went. We need to go out and see. Or they may have just moved in further into the cave.
You can roll me a survival check at the entrance to
Yeah.
check.
Can I do it as well?
Yeah, go ahead. Anyone who wants to.
Alright. That is a 12.
14.
14.
16.
Devin, you see tracks that head in. Humanoid tracks.
Someone's
almost-
been here.
When I say humanoid, I'm talking like crude shoes or something along
Okay.
those lines.
Shoes.
Okay.
Footprint.
They're not furbolg size, so they're not him, and I'm pretty sure he don't have shoes. Yeah. So, I see a humanoid going in.
You do not see tracks leaving recently, save for the party members themselves.
So
I've
once
got
they
a
can
crazy
teleport,
idea.
aka another you, then
Guys,
they're still here.
I've got a crazy idea.
Hello.
Down the mine shaft.
Hello, echoes in common down the mine shaft.
You want me to try that in Infernal?
Let's try every language again.
Give me perceptions all.
Yeah.
7.
Natural one.
18.
Woo!
3.
5.
22.
All right. 22. What you are able to hear back in response almost hears. It's not a repetition of him, as you would expect like a Kenku to do. It's not that. But you do hear a garbled common back. Hello. Almost as if asking it as a question and answering its own question that it asked.
Are you friendly? I asked in Dwarvish.
You can hear that though. You hear it.
Oh, right.
Did you hear that?
I say if anyone got a 15 plus, you
Oh,
heard
no,
it.
No, I did not.
Somebody
hear
said
it.
hello back.
You sure it was?
I mean, there was several of you.
All
but,
I heard was
but there was
echo.
another
I mean, my
one.
passive perception is 15, but I rolled a
This
7.
is this is not going to be picked up on by passive.
I got a 3. I didn't. All I was hearing was admiring my own voice.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay here.
It was a
for
pretty sweet echo.
distance, or-
Yeah, you can yell something else. He heard you. Somebody heard you. Say something nice.
You look nice.
If it's a hag, I'm gonna laugh.
Persuasion.
You're
check.
down the bottom edge of the hag.
I mean, y'all speak common too.
Perceptions once more.
Yeah.
You seem
That is
Everyone can see it. It has a nat 1 to stealth.
No, I'm just.
It is an improvement. I have an 8.
It has a nat 1 to its stealth check as it approaches.
I have a 1 as well, so I don't notice.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just turning around going.
He's like, oh god.
You turn away, but the rest of you see what is best described as an older man, maybe about 60, 65, clutching a crude wooden spear. He thinks he's hidden, but you can see him kind of get into the light so he can get a good look at you. Without really so much as thinking, you can also get a good look at him.
What kind of race is he?
Human.
Oh.
You see a about 65-year-old human.
Well, since he looks old, were you from the last ship?
He just kind of immediately shoots you a glare. What do you know about the ships?
We've come from one.
Cat flesh.
He likes to do that.
Man flesh.
You want trade? We have stone left. We give you some of the stone. We take this one. Points at her and
Who's
sentient bushman. We take both. We give you weight in stone.
Who is we? I only see you.
He looks at us. Just me. Only me here. Nothing worth here. Trade stone, rest of you leave. He is addressing Severos as party leader.
Do I get the feeling that he's just kind of lost his mind?
Give me a insight roll.
Okay.
6.
Can I assume I'm aware that he's here now?
Oh yeah, you can hear him. Anyone can give insight rolls that one.
Yeah, go for it.
That was good roll. That was nice.
That is a 15.
18.
Tens plus, you're able to garner that while it does appear he is uncivilized, he appears very much sane.
Do I believe him when he said he's by himself?
No. I'm pretty sure even those of you who got 5s pluses don't believe him. As his initial we, us, that appeared very natural to him until he was confronted on the fact.
So I'm gonna tell him, don't worry. We're here to save you and to welcome you into our caravan. We've taken care of the problem outside.
No need caravan, we still have stone to sell. Yes, stone. We trade you stone, we get that one. Would like that one too, but if not willing to part, I can subsist off this one for a while.
How about actual food instead of one of my friends?
Actual food?
Yes.
He looks at you with a puzzled look and suspicious.
I take one of my rations out and I chuck it out. Not at him.
Roll to hit forehead.
I throw it to be about a foot away from him.
He kind of picks it up, just kind of sniffs it, breaks off the tiniest of corners, puts it into his
plenty
mouth.
more rations where that comes from, and plenty more people.
We can trade you stone for these, yes.
I'd be happy to, if you would.
I can trade you stone for these.
Very well. But unfortunately, we have quite a few people who are interested in the stone here. I would like to set up some kind of trade arrangement, but I'm probably not going to be the person you want to deal with.
Who are you?
He gives a very elegant bow. My name is Severos. Pleasure to be in your acquaintance.
Been forever since I've seen a fish elf.
We are rare, yes.
I just realized we have 2 elves now.
But who you want to be talking to and handling this deal is my friend Devin here.
Devin. Devin.
Hello, my friend.
Almost as if he's still getting used to the fact that he's using common again.
I go ahead and pull out a sheet of paper, pen and ink. Again, I'm about to sort out a business deal. Be like, hello, sir. Good sir. My name is Devin. As my elegant friend here stated, we'd be much more willing to trade your stone for our rations. Will you be doing this by weight or by...
Why are you here? You not trade caravan. No one bring ration here. George not stupid.
George. Got it. Alright,
You want to ask him if there's another language he's more comfortable speaking with?
sure, if...
I understood that. No. Common good.
How often do you receive these trade caravans? We are unfamiliar with the term.
Never. Only local tribes come and trade. Want stone. I have stone in cave. I give them stone. Things I need.
New pronoun. We, I.
Well, sir, we are going to be your best new customers. I should say, or trade partners, you can assume. Should I go ahead and roll, like, charisma or something like that?
Go ahead and roll persuasion, yes.
Don't fail me.
Oof. I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay.
Much better. I'll use that one. Persuasion. Yeah, 22.
22?
That's why I gave it to you.
He kind of looks up. Good customer. Yes, customer.
Yes, my friend.
We customer? We buy everything.
All right. That's what we like to hear. We'll be willing to buy as much stone as we can from you, my friend. How much do you have readily available to leave your...
And I'm going to stop.
All stone you want. Buildings worth of stone. Big building.
I'm going to stop in the middle of that conversation and say, well, before we continue this deal, I have one issue. You're lying to us.
I know. He is immediately cut off by a scream in Orcish. Not so much a scream of pain, so much as a yell, a barked order. Does anyone here speak Orcish?
Nope.
You?
Well, let's go grab him from the caravan.
Anyone who knows Common would be able to identify it as an Orcish or
Does
Dwarven.
anybody...
I know Dwarvish.
Then
As do
they
I.
use a similar
Yes,
alphabet.
they do.
In other words, if you know Dwarvish, it's the equivalent of knowing Spanish, and you just heard French.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
He can pick out words.
you recognize the sounds.
Or like knowing Latin and hearing French.
That's closer, actually.
Yeah.
But so a large muscled orc steps out. Appears to be maybe 25.
Now's your time to
Well, to call him an orc is also not 100% true. More half orc in his features.
Could have had a brother.
Of course. Why am I not surprised?
George is done with his negotiations. He switches over to common. George just kind of nods and immediately scampers back into the darkness. You came with one of the ships.
Yes.
What expedition were we? What number?
8th.
Yes, the 8th.
He nods. We have heard that the mythical ships continue to come. Thought it legend.
Yes, well,
Let us exit the darkness, shall we? He just kind of just pulls back, strikes up. What you see is just like a rock that burns with the light of a torch. He just kind of holds it up above his head, and you see various people, most middle-aged, but 3 children among them, and a fair company of elderly kind of come out from the back of the cave, most holding crude wooden, stone-tipped weapons. And they kind of begin to file out, all of them just giving you looks that span the full range from terror to excitement, fear to idolatry. No one really knows what to make of you at this point.
except
that a lot.
except one guy. One guy really likes us. We best customers.
But the orc kind of leads you out into the fresh air, looks around. If you are with the ships, the lore says that you would come back to retake the fortress. He kind of muddles over the word. This is true, then.
Well, I don't know what this lore is, but yes, we have.
The lore is a oral story passed down.
From the last 50 years.
50 years is far shorter than we have been here.
Alrighty then.
Reminder, this city was initially built 400 years ago.
Oh, so during one of the
It's-
first ships.
He states that they are from the 5th expedition. Or, more correctly, his father was from the 5th expedition.
Well, we are happy to see, despite the harshities of this land, that you have survived. We fear that the actual surviving number from those expeditions were very few.
Our ship was blown off course, lost in a storm that rose up as we approached the island.
How
The other ships disappeared in that storm. We crashed, few of us survived.
many people are we looking at that walked out with us?
About 20.
About 20. You
Of
said there are
which,
children.
about 10 are elderly. 7 are what would be considered young to middle-aged, and 3 are very young children.
Okay.
About 5 or 6.
I'm going to attempt to give all 3 of the children one of my rations.
I say each one of the girls just kind of comes up, grabs it immediately after kind of looking for permission after they've grabbed it. Like, I really want that. Can I have this? And all 3 of the human girls are just, well, 2 of the humans, 1 elf are, yes, you can have it. They immediately just take in, just ripping it apart to eat it.
Well, as we said, we've retaken the fortress up above. What are your plans now? Are you going to want to stay in your mine, or would you like to join us?
Oh, it will be good to live on the surface again.
Oh, excellent.
We used to set up there before a group of plants forced us out.
Oh, well, you're in luck. We just took care of those.
Good.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Are the mines themselves clear? We'll probably need it for...
No. The vegetables used them as a fungus garden.
Oh.
There is a deadly rot that takes hold most of the way down the tunnel. Anyone who goes near it doesn't come out.
Does this sound the same stuff that we encountered?
Yes.
Just to be clear, you said previously last time we encountered it, we tried using fire and it didn't work, right?
Correct.
We ran away.
I know that, but he stated
I believe
he
you
took
said
care of it.
necrotic works.
You need necrotic,
Radiant.
radiant, or a metric ton of alcohol.
I got this.
Just bring out your own personal stash.
Alright, I guess we'll escort them to the top. Is there anyone of any significance that introduces themselves to this group?
Olgaham, the half-orc, is the leader of the group currently.
I didn't hear the name.
Olgaham. Olgahan.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll, I guess, escort them up to the fortress. While I guess on the trip, I'll be asking what they can tell me about the actual continent itself, since they've been living here all this time.
They had wandered about since their ship had crashed south, and they had seen that they had walked the mountain ridge that leads to the mountain you're at now. Not wanting to go south, as they had split into multiple groups once their ship had gotten there. One of the groups continued walking the ridge. A couple went down into the jungles that are in the southern enclave. They've never heard from those groups. But they do know there's giants down there. One of the groups tried to explore somewhere in the north. They've not heard from them either. Of the two groups that went, they kind of settled around this mountain, assuming that, it looks like it's important. It's the first sign of civilization we found. If someone were to come get us, it would be here. We know there's ships that are going to have to continue to come. This is 150 years back in the timeline from where we are now. And of those two groups, which would have comprised about 40 individuals, they're down to 20 individuals now.
Okay.
While he's explaining this, are they taking us outside while we're doing this?
You guys are heading back up to the fortress.
Right. Can I go ahead of the group to go grab Etha to let them know that we found a group of people from previous ships to try and bring them to the group?
Etha, you go up, get Etha. She gets her attention. She barks off a couple orders to people moving stuff around. She comes down and meets you guys at the gate. The remaining 10 feet of the hedge has kind of been stripped back by people coming through using some of the tools in the crates just to kind of be like, no, we don't need a overgrown hedge in the middle of the gate. We'd rather actually be able to put crates and actual fortifications there. Also, hedges are places where animals of the unsavory variety like to live. Mostly snakes. Nobody likes snakes.
Yes, one of the first things I learned to kill.
Tasty.
But engages in a conversation with the orc, kind of just explaining who they are, getting the story of, oh, they're from the 5th ship. Okay, that explains it. Breaking the news gently that, yeah, the people who went south ain't gonna be coming back. The North group, though, she kind of makes a note of as, okay, we're north of you, where their settlement is. They never saw them. So it is likely they either went inland north, which would be deviating from the plan they had given, or, who knows, abducted, died in a mountain pass or sudden accident, killed by vegapygmies. It's 150 years back. There's not going to be a whole lot of evidence to try to track them down now.
Some good survival skills.
Yeah, okay. We also tell Etha about the fungus in the mine that we're going to have to find a way to clear out.
Yes, if you want to make the mine usable, that I forget the exact name of the fungus, but yeah, it's gonna need cleared.
The
Yeah.
russet mold?
Russet mold. There we go.
Does she have any magical stuff that could help with that?
Her magic is protection based
Okay.
and is mostly out of her runic ring, as very few of the powers are actually her own.
During that conversation, I am going to come up and say that I believe I've been concentrating on that issue in case if we ever was to encounter it again, and I think I have a solution.
She nods.
Use a shovel.
That's the opposite of a solution. And that causes more problems.
Okay, caltrops.
You go for it.
At this point, you guys are... They're moving their various meager belongings they have up. They don't really have chests. There's a couple trips being made back and forth as people are carrying armloads of supplies. They're leaving their stone there. They do have enough stone to set up a single building of decent quality. Everything else they explained to you as various native type tribes, hobgoblins or trolls would show up. They would trade off the stone either for their survival or for various goods that they could get in, sending some of it down to giant land, as occasionally the giants use the trolls as traders.
When you get a chance, can you like draw out what their compound
Your
looks
trash
like?
can seem so full. Where do you
Yes.
want me to put
Alright,
this?
you don't. I guess you don't do it
Your
now.
trash
Yeah.
seems like-
You guys aren't going to get into laying it out at the moment,
Just
but I'll make sure I get that over to you.
Alright.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of want to find out what the deals usually were at these tribes if they show up. You can
The
try.
deals with the hobgoblins were, you are living in our land, therefore you owe us tribute. We will either take it, or you will provide it. Stone was an acceptable form of tribute, as worked stone is incredibly rare, as none of the tribes here know how to work it. Why stones were being taken to the giants is unknown, as the stones would be too small to serve good purpose for them. I mean, maybe some of they've got medium-sized things, but they also weren't interested in the large stones. They were interested in the brick-sized stones. Olgum actually kind of pauses on that point and says, I have things for you.
Or something.
All right, what's up?
I was told to hold these until another of these fabled expeditions arrived. Kind of motions, and George has brought up what looks like a large grouping of stones. They're about 4 inches wide, circular, bordering on oval. Not perfect circle, not perfect oval, something in between. Have a very fine gloss on them. You can't tell if it's a gloss that's been applied or if the stones have been polished such that it is a natural sheen. It doesn't appear to be either, but you're not sure what it is. But in that sheen, there's various runic markings.
What day of the week is it?
You guys are on the 3rd day of the week.
Could these be part of the rune stones you were talking to us about?
They are rune stones. They are not part of rune stones. He indicates that his father left instructions on how they're to be used with the central rune of the city. However, also left instructions that as they were not leading an expedition, they were not theirs to use.
Okay.
Etha appears to recognize the stones.
Alright, I guess I'll ask Etha about it first, see what she can tell me about it before I use of magic on it.
These are stones that, honestly, you should have come equipped with. The fact you were not given any is an oddity. These are She puzzles over the word as there's no correct word in Common, Elvish, or any known language to describe them. You can treat them as a key. They unlock individuals.
Individuals.
Potential.